There's been a lot of controversy about Elon Musk over the past week because he mentioned he's going to be hosting Saturday Night Live, which we know is a very popular program on the East Coast of the United States every Saturday night on NBC. And a lot of people in the industry, the entertainment industry, were not happy with him for doing this. And I say good for him for doing this. I think it's great. Now, what he does brilliantly, and we can learn from him, is that he uses a little bit of controversy when it comes to leveraging the media. And so as you can see right here, he wrote, let's find out just how live Saturday Night Live really is. And some people got upset by this, including Bowen Yang, who's one of the actors on Saturday Night Live. He wrote, what the heck does this even mean? And everything that Elon Musk does is very calculative. There's a reason why he's so very successful, right? This is the kind of feedback he wanted. And it's brilliant because now a lot of people are going to watch it, which is free advertising for SpaceX, Tesla, etc. The best response that I saw, though, was a tweet from Conan O'Brien, who's hysterical. He said this. He said, just think, we're all just a few $1 billion away from hosting SNL. It's pretty funny, pretty funny. So we all have to use the media when we can. I'm going to teach you how in a minute or so, and be somewhat controversial with our business models. And so Elon Musk, what he's done is he sent a Tesla up into space a couple of years ago. You remember this wonderful picture here. Very controversial, of course, but he got a lot of media attention. And so Sir Richard Branson, who's one of my heroes, also does the exact same thing. So Richard Branson founded Virgin Media and many Virgin companies many, many years ago, and he takes a lot of risks, and he gets a lot of media attention for it as well by being controversial. And so what Richard Branson did was he launched a product called Virgin Cola to take on Coca-Cola, which was really risky, really risky. And the way he did it was he actually rented a tank and drove into Times Square with a tank. Now, obviously, you can't do that today, but he did this back in the early 80s. And so the media attention was unbelievable. I mean, every television program in the world was talking about him for doing this. And you have to be controversial sometimes, and tasteful, though, with your marketing strategy. It's really, really competitive to get any sort of attention out there. And if you leverage the media, you can get free marketing if you're a bit controversial as well. And so what happened was that product failed, unfortunately, Virgin Cola. And I'll get to that picture of that brilliant Canadian director there in a second. But God bless Richard Branson for at least trying, because you'll never make it in business unless you fail over and over and over again, as Michael Jordan said. And so the picture right beside the failure sign there is actually of James Cameron, who's my favorite person in all of Hollywood. He's a Canadian director, writer, producer. He created Avatar, Titanic, etc. And James Cameron once said, if you set your goals so high and you fail, you still fail way above everyone else's expectations. So although Virgin Cola might have been a failed product, he got a lot of free media attention for it, Sir Richard Branson, that is, which helped his other Virgin companies as well. Other people that do this effectively include one of my other business heroes, who's Mark Benioff. Now, Mark Benioff runs the largest the company that employs the most people in San Francisco, called Salesforce.com, and he's a wonderful humanitarian as well. He cares about the environment as well. And so what Mark Benioff did was, he's a great salesperson. He was the youngest vice president in Oracle history, Oracle, big software company. He was 25 years old when he made vice president there. And Oracle's probably the best place in the world to start a career if you want to work in sales or start a tech company even. And what Mark Benioff did, which was controversial, was his company is called Salesforce.com. And as you can see by the image here, his logo initially was the word software with a line drawn through it. And he did this, he launched the company back in 1999, and nobody understood what that meant. People thought, well, software is, I don't know, a great place to invest, a lot of growth stocks in software. But his point at the time was that having bloated client server-based software that you download in your computer is not an efficient way to run a company or your household even, because you have to download updates all the time. It's a pain in the neck, as we all know. And so what he did was when he launched Salesforce.com in 1999, over the next couple of years, up until his IPO in 2004, he went on the media circuit. And he went on the Jim Cramer show, Mad Money, on CNBC, of course. And he actually made friends with about 50 of the top tech and finance journalists around the world. And he was very controversial by saying software is dead. Software is dead. Nobody got it at the time. No one understood it, even myself. And so it was very, very successful marketing campaign for him, because he got free publicity. And eventually when his company went public in 2004, everybody already knew about the company because he was on the news all the time talking about how software is dead. And so he wrote this great book that I recommend that you purchase. Now, I'm not affiliated with anybody. I'm not going to ever take any sponsorships. I'm pure and true just to you, my student. But this book called Behind the Clouds, he talks about his strategy and how he made friends with 50 of the top tech and finance journalists by being very controversial with his marketing campaign. And very successful people, what they like to do, the good ones at least, is they like to share with the world how they became successful so that you don't have to reinvent the wheel. And whoever your business icons are, so you can turn your idols into your rivals one day, whoever they are, I want you to be a voracious reader or listener to Audible books of their biographies or autobiographies. Because why reinvent the wheel? They provide you with their blueprint for success. Check out this book if you get a chance, by Mark Benioff. Now, people have been doing this for years, being very controversial. Even the Beatles did it. And so this album here, when this came out, and this, of course, is Abbey Road, which I think is the Beatles' best album. What happened was there was a lot of controversy and rumors that Paul McCartney was dead. And they played with this, right? And so the story behind this album cover is they were supposed to go fly to Mount Everest for their last album. They had one more album after this, but they thought this was their last one. They were going to go to Mount Everest and take a great picture on the top, right? The pinnacle of their career. And then they got lazy and they were in their studio at Abbey Road Studio in London. They said, screw it, man. Let's just walk across the street and get someone to take a picture of us. But what you can see in this picture is there's a rumor Paul McCartney was dead. This is John Lennon, right? And so this is a funeral march. And John Lennon is dressed up as the priest, which is ironic. You've got Ringo Starr dressed up as the pallbearer. You've got George Harrison, God bless him, dressed up as the gravedigger. And then you've got Paul McCartney here, who is in bare feet, signifying death. And more importantly, it's hard to see, but he's got a cigarette in his hand, and that signifies death. And on this Volkswagen Beetle, clever Beetle, on this Volkswagen Beetle, the license plate says 28 if. And what that means is if Paul McCartney were alive, he would be 28. They played around with that a lot. And they did this on a couple of albums as well, which was brilliant publicity. So in Sgt. Pepper's, what they did, which is another great album of theirs, Paul McCartney right here, on his shoulder, he has a patch that looks like it says OPD, which people thought meant officially pronounced dead. It's actually Canadian police badge. It says OPP. Yeah, you know me. And OPP stands for Ontario Party Poopers. Ontario Provincial Police, yeah. So the Beatles even use controversy in their marketing. And I could use controversy as well by saying that Harvard Business School, 2/3 of it, meaning HBS, 2/3 of HBS is BS when marketing my MBA program. But the problem with that is my name is Haroon, so Haroon Business School. Maybe I'm the one that's full of it. I don't know. If I can't laugh myself, who can I laugh at, right? And so the best way to be able to leverage the media is to network aggressively. And you can send in-mails to people that have at least one or two things in common with you. You know, maybe they went to the same school as you, and maybe they're from the same hometown as you. And maybe they work for the New York Times or the Washington Post or Al Jazeera or any great global television station. And so what you can do is you can send an in-mail to these people that are older than you, that are a lot like you, that are successful, that work for the media. And you can send them a short in-mail, and I tell you exactly how to do it in this book. And you can download my book for free by going to my website there on how to network. But in your in-mails, when it comes to using LinkedIn, now I know what every in-mail you've ever received, you've opened. It's true. But every email you've ever received, you've probably not opened, of course. But in the in-mail, here's what you write. You do an advanced search, and you find people that have something in common with you. Maybe they went to the same school, and they're part of the same organization or same hometown. And then what you do is the subject line of your in-mail. Let's pretend that we're contacting somebody from the New York Times. In the subject line, you put hi. Everyone's going to open it. And then in the contents of your in-mail, after you do an advanced search, you write this. Joanne, for example. Hope all is well. I'm also from Mississauga. That's where I'm from originally. I'm also from Mississauga, and I also went to the Toronto French School. That's where I went when I was a kid. Please let me know if you have time for a coffee or a Zoom call in the next few weeks. Thanks a lot, Chris. And so what happens is they see you have something in common with them. And that's really important, because what you want to do is you want to reach out to somebody 20 years older than you maybe, that's 20 years more successful than you are, and you want them to think while they're reading this message, wow, this person is just like me. Would I help myself in hindsight? How great would it have been if I could have helped myself in hindsight? What do they want to meet about? Okay, I'll take that meeting. It works. It works. Again, download my book. Check it out. I promise you it works. It's free also. What you can do if you want is you can also sign up for my MBA degree program. Now, there are 5 main components in it. This one here is a short video for personal growth. And I provide you with a ton of templates to take with you to give to people you're meeting with in informational interviews, brand new ones. And this will help those people with their career. And in my MBA degree program, what I also do is I teach you how to be much more efficient so you can live your life on your own terms and accomplish much more as well. And enjoy doing what you're doing. And there's a 30-day, 100% money-back guarantee in my MBA degree program. And special kudos and thanks to my wonderful partner, Matt Lacousse, my Chief Creative Officer, for putting this together. And so that's the personal growth track. Now, in my MBA degree program, there are 5 main sections. The first one is finance and accounting, where I give you a ton of frameworks or arrows in your quiver, so to speak, or tools in your toolbox so you can tackle any situation in finance and accounting and enjoy the process and understand it too. The second one is sales, marketing, and communications. The third is entrepreneurship. Then we have economics management strategy, and then personal growth. And so you can sign up today. There's a 30-day, 100% money-back guarantee.